Hey Scorpio, welcome to your weekly forecast for August 26th. Or is it the 28th? Oh my gosh, I just drew a blank. I'm going to say it's the 26th. 26th through September 1st. Okay, my dears? We're going to go ahead and see what's coming up for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the week ahead. We've got the new moon coming in August 30th on Friday. So we're going to see how that's affecting Scorpios as well. Some of you are very moon sensitive as water signs. We can be pretty sensitive, all the water signs, but some Scorpios, especially those Scorpios who are really tapped into their intuitive energy, they can be very moon sensitive as well. Moon sensitive just means that you're very sensitive to the moon energy. So we'll see. We'll see what's coming up there. So here is the Monday, Tuesday card. Wednesday, Thursday. All right, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then after we look at this deck, I'm going to pull a spirit message for you from a different deck, my darlings. Your Monday, Tuesday, is beginnings, right? That's very fitting for the new moon. So some of you, like I said, you're very moon sensitive and you may be picking up on that energy really, really early. You may be picking it up on the beginning of the week, even though the new moon's not really coming until the end of the week. But this beginnings energy, a couple of things that I'm feeling is just as I'm looking at this card, like as I'm just looking at the energy here, she seems so happy. Like she's done. She's like over something. So maybe some of you, like your kids are finally back in school and you're like, oh, I can finally do what I need to do. Or I'm finally going to have time to focus on my projects or like whatever it might be. You know, whether it's your kids being back in school or whether it's just you having a chance to, take a breather or get away from a negative environment or a negative situation. It can very much be like this this burden is off your back and you can finally start making stuff happen. Okay, I know I'm excited about that because I've been having a lot of setbacks myself since this Mercury retrograde. So something is aligning and something is finally opening up to where like the obstacles are out of the way, the burden is out of the way, and you can do what needs to be done. You can focus on what needs to be done and you can start making things happen. You can begin a lot of these projects or these ideas that you haven't been able to do or you haven't been able to get to. It's really interesting to me because I've been seeing hearts every single place lately. Those of you who are on my social media, you may have also seen the heart in my Starbucks iced tea that I posted. But I'm seeing a heart right there too, like a sideways heart. I don't know if you can see that. I'm kind of like trying to trace it there with my nail. But right here, there's like a little sideways heart in that little lining, like on the side. So that's jumping out at me, right? So this could be a beginning of a new love for some of you. When I see a lot of hearts, I just take it as a sign that my angels are letting me know that they love me and that they're with me. So some of you might be receiving some sign in the beginning of the week where your angels and guides are letting you know that they love you or they're with you, or it could quite literally be a sign of like, you know, hey, yeah, a romantic love, or you know, something is happening in your romantic life. I do feel that for a lot of you, you are just absolutely overjoyed. This is something you've been waiting for a very, very long time. The orange is really jumping out at me. So this is going to be like the sacral chakra. So this is going to be right above the root chakra, which is going to be like your physical sense, your confidence, the physical body, things of that nature. So some of you might also be really able to like take care of yourself physically. Maybe this situation has been robbing you of sleep or throwing you off your schedule, and it's been making it very hard for you to like have healthy foods to put in your body. Maybe you've been on the run a lot and you've been just grabbing a lot of instant things or things on the go that haven't been super healthy. But I really feel like a lot of you are nourishing and taking care of yourself physically. Like you're finally able to get back into your routine. You're finally able to get back into your sleep and doing those things. And also just feeling very confident. A sense of confidence, feeling very confident, feeling very good about yourself as you are in this moment now. Just a sense of freedom, okay? So very, very positive energy starting off in the beginning of the week. Your Wednesday, Thursday is authority. Now, Scorpio, especially, I'm giggling here, especially those of you Scorpios who fall into the 80s baby category, who are of the indigo generation, those of you who are light workers and earth or angels, but you also happen to be indigos. I feel a lot of Scorpios are indigos. You know, and so there might be things coming up with challenging authority, right? Like that inner teenager in you may be coming to the forefront where you're like, wait a minute, why do I have to do that? Or what? Who says? You know, some of us who have that indigo energy, you know, we kind of might have it in us that we are very tempted to stand up against authority or to challenge authority. It's very much an indigo trait. Not in a way where, you know, like indigos are bad, but very much in the way that we're here to change and to bring about like a new dawn. And when you don't have the maturity, because teenagers aren't very mature a lot of the time, when you don't have the maturity to go about it in like a balanced way or in like a mature way and to communicate, it can be very easy to be in a situation where you like challenge somebody or get in their face. So I feel something is happening in the middle of the week where you're realizing somebody might be using their authority in a not so fair way. And maybe in the past, Scorpio, you would have just like called down fire from heaven. You would have waged war. You would have gotten in their face. You would have made like a big issue out of it. Like you would have been ready to fight. Okay. But in this instance, I feel, Scorpio, that a lot of you are learning to stand up and to speak up and to be assertive in a way where you're taking the position of authority. It's like the person is like, whoa, like what just happened? Like what just happened? Like they're not going to be able to talk their way out of it, or they're not going to be able to deny what it is they've been doing that was wrong. And they're not going to be able to turn it around on you and say, oh, look at you. Look at how you're acting. You're making a big deal. There's something wrong with you. Like you're not stable, or, you know, like, you know, you're a troublemaker, or you just want to fight. They can't say that because you're presenting it in such a clear, mature, calm, articulate, authoritative way that like they can't challenge what you're saying. They can't argue what you're saying. So some of you Scorpios, you may find yourself where you're coming into a position of power at work. Maybe somebody has been mishandling or misusing their power, and you're coming into a position where you're going to be able to be given certain responsibilities, or you're being given a chance, or you're being reviewed to step up and to take more leadership because you were able to stand up and to do this in a calm way, in a mature way, where you just kind of stood up and you took a hold of that. I don't know what it is. It's King Triton, but I don't think the thing is called a Triton. What is it called? Somebody knows. It's not a pitchfork, but whatever. You're grabbing that scepter of power, okay? But you're doing it in a very calm way. So I do feel, Scorpio, there is a sense of challenging authority, but I also feel that you're stepping into authority. Like you're taking an authority or a role of leadership. Okay, I really feel that very, very strongly for some of you. Okay, let's see, your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, as we're coming into the new moon energy. We have transformation. Scorpio, this is your card. This is our card. The Death card is about transformation. The Scorpio in the tarot, in the traditional tarot, and Scorpio is a sign of transformation. We are constantly transforming. We are the phoenix of the zodiac, right? Scorpio will have many endings and many beginnings in their life, arguably more than any other sign sometimes. So there is a transformation that's coming in. And you know what's interesting to me, what's jumping out to me here is the little seals that are coming up around her. And I feel like a lot of the things that used to bring you pleasure, or that were like your playtime, or the things that you did for fun, are not fun for you anymore. So you may be even feeling like a pulling away from certain friends that you liked to be giddy or silly with, or that you liked to pass time with, or just certain things that you occupied your time with that helped you to kind of forget about your stresses or your pressures. It's not bringing you the same sense of joy. You're not amused by it. You're not entertained by it anymore. You don't want it anymore. And so you're coming into this energy of this transformation. You're stepping into this new role, this new way of being. I even feel like the way she's holding this garment over her, and maybe it's even wet and a little bit see-through here. You're feeling a little bit exposed for some reason. And I'm not sure why, but this is giving me a sense, Scorpio, that something is happening in the end of the week where you're just kind of feeling like people that you thought had your back, or people thought that they were your friends, that they're not taking your situation seriously, or they're not taking you seriously, and you're not getting mad about it. You're not getting depressed about it. You're just kind of distancing yourself from the situation. And there's going to be people who feel very confused by this. Like they're looking up at her like, hey, like, why aren't you playing with us? Like, what's wrong? What's going on? Like, what are you doing? So I feel like some of you are just kind of distancing yourself from a certain group, or just kind of reassessing what you want and where you're going, or like what you want to do. It's funny because with a lot of the other signs, I didn't get it for every single one of the signs, but for a lot of the other signs, I got a lot of like archangel energy or things coming in terms of the archangels. I don't get that necessarily coming in with you. Other than the intuition here, and then like the purple, like the transmutation. So I do feel Archangel Michael is watching over your intuition, and like you connecting with your higher self, and you connecting with your intuitive messages at this time. But more so than that, Scorpio, I'm just gonna say, as you're going through this transformation, a lot of you are going into, like, what's jumping out at me is this gray. This gray here. This is not a thing of depression or sadness, or you're going into like this dark place, because I don't feel that vibe. But I feel like you're really going into that gray, or you're really going into those like darker feelings of yours, not because you're stuck or trapped in them, but you're trying to understand them. You're sitting with them. You're allowing yourself to feel them, and you're exploring them so that you can figure out really what's going to make you happy, right? Maybe a lot of you have been keeping very busy with people who are, maybe like they're good time Charlies, or they're people that you have fun with, or they're drinking buddies, or ha ha he he, or whatever. And now you're like, you know what? I'm not going to run away from these feelings. I want to sit with them, and I want to figure out exactly what I'm feeling, why I'm feeling that way, and how I can make it better. Like, what is going to bring me fulfillment? What is going to make me happiness? Some of you are really getting into poetry. I really do feel that. Some of you are sitting with these heavy feelings, and I'm specifically getting poetry, or like music, like song lyrics or music or writing, and you're clearing out in that way. because that new moon energy, you're going to be receiving a lot of things in the new moon. Specifically, I feel like what a lot of you are manifesting are some new friends, right? But you're purging out a lot of those gray feelings that you have not been dealing with. Like, they're coming to the surface and you're releasing them, and you're manifesting more supportive people who aren't leaving you feeling very exposed, who aren't leaving you feeling very vulnerable. I feel, Scorpio, like you have a lot of people that treat you like a little guard dog, or like a little, like you're the bouncer of the group, or you're the VIP security, right? And you're like, wait a minute, why do I always have to be the one fighting for everybody? Why do I always have to be the one like in the front lines? Why can't somebody else step up once in a while? So it feels like in that way, like you're just like, hey, I'm vulnerable too sometimes. I want somebody to stand up for me too sometimes. I don't want to have to be that one while all of you get to be like just silly-nilly over here. So let's go ahead and check out your spirit message for the week. We have the Hooper. The one principle that runs through the universe flows in the waves of the sea. Okay? So, this is beautiful because, like I said, a lot of you are kind of feeling like the people that you are having fun with, or like the crowd that you are hanging with, like you're realizing that it's not it, right? The things that were making you happy before, they're not making you happy, or the people that you were leaning on are not really being supportive, or they're leaving you feeling vulnerable. But you're realizing that the universe is an abundant universe, and you're going into this change and this release with faith, where you're like, you know what? If I step away from these friends, it's okay, because there's a lot of other fish in the sea. It's a great big universe. There's going to be other opportunities. My support, my love, my assistance is going to come in through the higher power, through the universe. I'm not dependent on these people, right? Like, I'm not going to chase after them. I'm not going to beg them. You know, some of you have already in the past had conversations with them, and you've let them know that, hey, you're hurting my feelings, or hey, that's kind of messed up, or hey, that's kind of disloyal. And you're like, you know what, like, I've already spelled it out, and they don't seem to get it, and I'm not going to feel sad, and I'm not going to try to teach them how to love me, and I'm not going to try to teach them how to step up and be there for me, because they're not getting it anyway. Like, but I'm not dependent on them for my survival. I'm not dependent on them for my, support. So you're opening up to the possibility of new people coming in, that there's just this energy in the universe, there's this flow. It's going to come to you from a different direction, from a different place. You're not going to be hung up on that. Or if some of you have really been in love with somebody for a really long time, and they're not getting their crap together. They're just in the corner hitting their head against the same wall over and over and over. And you're like, okay, you know what? I know I'm meant to be loved, and this person is just making a choice to just keep hitting their head in the same spot again and again. And I know that I'm meant to be loved, and I know that it's an abundant universe out there, and I know that I have a big soul family. So I'm going to go ahead and open up for this flow of energy to come in from a different way, from a different avenue. So a lot of you are just opening up to possibilities where you're not having a codependency, or you're not feeling dependent on a specific person or organization or job to satisfy you and give you what you need. You're open to it coming in from a different way or a different direction. 5 is changes. Like, big changes are coming. 1 is to, like, a new beginning, right? Like a new beginning. So you know that these changes are bringing you a new life. So in that sense, you have a faith. If we reduce these numbers, 5 plus 1 equals 6. Scorpio, this tells me that over the course of this new moon, you are manifesting great abundance. And I know some of you are like, what? Why are you saying that? 8 is a number of abundance. How are you getting that from 6? I'll explain. 6 is an energy when we have abundance, but we need to figure out how to prioritize it. You know, you may be in this energy, and again, something similar came up for Sagittarius. So some of you may have a lot of Sagittarius in your chart, or you may be dealing with a Sagittarius, but not necessarily. But you know, with the 6th energy, you may be the kind of person that you can be very generous, and you want to show your love and you want to show your support by being financially generous to other people. You're very tempted to give. Like when you love someone, you want to spoil them, or you want to pamper them, or you know, you want to go and celebrate and you want to treat everybody because like things are going good for you. And 6 is a number that says you need to balance that out, because at the end of the day, what your loved ones want is that emotional intimacy and that connection with you. It's not about fancy dinners and fancy trips and special gifts. The people that are giving you pressure for that stuff, they're not in your life for the right reasons. So Scorpio, one of the things is how you were wanting to have people that have your back, people that are there for you, that are going to support you. But if people are looking over and you're in this abundance that's coming in that you've manifested, and they're seeing you as somebody where you're like, yeah, you know, I'll take care of it, I'll handle it, I'll pick up the bill, whatever, that's going to attract some shady people. That's going to attract people that are seeing you as a meal ticket or an opportunity, right? And then so it's also a way of you running away from emotional intimacy, because it's easier sometimes to give somebody a gift or do something kind for them in that way than to say, hey, I really appreciate you. You mean a lot to me. I love you a lot, right? Like that can leave us feeling kind of vulnerable or uncomfortable. So this abundance is going to be coming in, but you need to learn not to use it as a way of expressing your emotions for somebody or trying to win them over, okay? So just a little tidbit of wisdom here, just a little message for you from Spirit, Scorpio, because a lot of you are going to be coming into abundance, and you don't want to attract the wrong attention to yourself because you're just this very generous person. All right, my dears? Be sure to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos as well. Some weeks they might resonate with you more. It might bring a little extra information. Those of you who would like a private reading, I'm more than happy to do that. Go ahead and click on the Calendly link and it'll take you to the scheduling page so you can schedule a private reading. If you want to know more about the cards, there's a link in the description of the video that will take you to the cards I used today. And then for anybody that wants more love life info, I do the love reading separate on this channel. If you haven't already watched the August love videos, you can click on the link in the description of the video. It'll take you to the August love readings. The September cross-watcher videos and the September love videos are going to be up really soon. So if you haven't already hit subscribe and hit the notification button, go ahead and do that, and you'll get a notice very soon in the next couple of days when the cross-watcher videos and the love videos are up. They're going to be up over the weekend. I thank you so much for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I am wishing you a fabulous week, Scorpio.